Mid lane Ember against Pugna. I'm kind of interested to see how this lane goes.
Pugna favored, but I don't think... I think most of these Ember players nowadays, if they have been able... I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think either. I think what SumaiL can pressure tower pretty well, but at the same...
Deny.
Yeah, I guess you also have that kind of level 6 marker as well. Like, Pugna's pressuring, but then when Ember hits 6, there is that kill threat from Remnants. Top lane, Zayat's going to drag the wave to try and get his level 2. Miposhka chases him back, leaving Pango in a 1v1 against Lifestealer, which no one looks like he's winning. With that disarm from Lucky Shot.
The Ainge thing away gets 2 denied.
Yeah. Zayats with only 1 CS. Great play there by the Enchantress. Back down to bottom. It looks like a pull across there is being contested by Ramses. Trying to dagger his way through the creep wave. Collapse and so bad, we're laying it on pretty thick. Keeping themselves topped up with headdress, tether. And now, of course, poison attack paired with nether toxin, giving you even more magic damage. Spectre's 12-0 though. I mean, that's a couple of neutral creeps, but still looking reasonably comfortable so far in the laning stage. But things get much worse when Viper hits level 3. Forcing an early salve as well. It's like no one sitting at 3 CS. I thought he was having a decent time up here, but struggling to last hit up against the Lifestealer.
That was not yours.
Fisher block. Not going to do a whole lot. Zayats gets tagged by the open wounds, and Yatoro just going to start munching on him. Top lane's becoming a big problem here for Just Error. But we knew that, or at least you called it, that the laning stage for Yellow Submarine looked like it was going to be incredibly potent.
But I still think laning stage is going, it's gonna get harder and harder. Just Error here. Gonna be a lot on this house if you get some kind of rune to help those sidelines, then it already see that Pango for X.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
Harassing with me.
Yeah, they know that.
He might die on, yeah.
He's got a fairy fire, but you're right, no swashbuckle. He's like 40 mana away from it. So first blood is going to come slowly but surely as they do rip him apart. And Yatoro claiming that kill onto no one. Yeah, Io trying bottom. Pugna versus Ember Spirit up top. And it looks like...
He didn't take that. Well, oh my god.
Wait. Whoa.
Toronto took it.
Huh.
Yeah, I guess he thought he was like sitting on it and maybe he didn't click. He thought the rune was bottom.
I mean, I did the same thing. There's a kill on Io there. I was looking top and I thought, oh, they didn't get a rune top, so it must be... I then went to look bottom. There's no rune bottom. Then I started wondering, did someone deny the rune? And then you come out and say they just didn't take it. Toronto Tokyo is now being blasted and he's 1 hit away from death, but the salve is there as Miposhka's rotation. Will bully SumaiL back. And there's a Fisher coming. Cancel the salve as Collapse dies to Solo and Ramses down bottom lane. Wyvern and Spectre killing off a Viper.
Definitely doing better on this lane that they shoot. Good job from them. A lot of good things happening for there or that guy mid, and then also the bottom as well. It all leads that to that so bad was then he died there and we're able to use that time to kill. Now Solo is Yeah, I feel like every time somebody's gonna be, I don't think there's a way this kill happens. It was a good heads-up play from Ramses and so that play dead, so they can. Now again, if just gets staying this lane, unless they bring like a third.
Yeah, they need a lot of resources to do that.
Ramses is getting quite harassed here, might die.
Oh, with that urn charge and the poison attack. Oh, it's back to Fountain, barely.
Unless he didn't throw a Netatoxin. Died to that. Well, still forcing him out of there is gonna have to run again.
Interesting double ward here from Just Error. Both of them in towards that bottom rune spot. One on their high ground, one on the enemy high ground. Watching for wherever the Ember Spirit transitions into this jungle. They do bring Pugna bottom. Viper has a TP. Yeah, he just immediately says, screw it, I am out of here. But the fish from Zayat catches him. So the way out isn't as easy as the Viper once thought. And with Solo arriving there to help Zayat secure the kill, they do find that Viper.
And is dead again? No.
The rune of illusion.
Go for middle farm there. Better lane for him.
In your debt.
Well, he's done a good amount of damage to Toronto Tokyo under that tower.
Probably the best lane to wanna be against that Viper, and Ember or pressure you. He can pressure you that hard in under the tower, like.
Yeah, then he can go and farm some jungle camps once he's pushed out these waves. Nice place to be in. Lifestealer though has forced the Pango out of lane. No one catching up a little bit now. 23 CS, not looking as bad as he was previously, but it's still not an ideal situation for him. Level 6 is really what he's aiming for there. That first Rolling Thunder from the Pangolier is really pivotal in terms of where your game's heading. Crack 6 in about a creep. But he's already TP top, so you don't have that reaction potential from the Pangolier to actually come into a team fight. And for now, they're keeping Pugna down bottom. SumaiL just waiting around there. So Spectre is sat mid. Haunt ready soon. Just one creep away. It feels like that's a timing there. Solo getting chased by Collapse and Miposhka. They turn back with a decrep. Nice Fisher there. And with a life drain, they're going to find the Enchantress. Yet again, Yellow Submarine coming in with aggression. But met in kind by this Zero Error side. Well, SumaiL, the poison attacks, they are annoying, but he's got Fairy Fire and now a life drain if he wants to go in for this. He actually gets the decrep and the blast onto the Viper. But the follow-through damage, not quite enough. And they can't control them up through that sustain of So Bad with a Salve and a Clarity running on the IO.
Same thing again, but they're just making sure power doesn't. It's kind of playing against way that Yellow's
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
bring this number. However, Yatoro is adapting to the situation, and he's actually pressuring this at top tower. This is a really nice. Bring 4 heroes. And now that forces top, so now they can make a bottom.
Yeah. Nice TP though. Nothing to stop it, and he's in the fountain. Bottle charges. Oh, close to death, but he does survive. But yeah, you're right. The fact that like Pango wanted to come bot with Rolling Thunder to fight, right? And then he has to go top now. Rolling Thunder is still not being utilized really.
Have TP now. Now what they can do again is that now they can start pressure the tower.
And Ember Spirit comes in, trying to defend his own tower mid. Level 4 Flame Guards ready with a couple of 1 charges. Zayat's sitting off to the right-hand side. He's halfway to blink on this Earthshaker, but still not level 6, so no Echo Slam. They spotted out Miposhka. He's got a good ward there, but it's been seen. And the Enchantress is going to have to sproink away because the rest of Zero Error coming for him. Top tier 1. Denied by no one. Look at that. Fake pumps on the Rolling Thunder. Gets the deny on the tower. Very nicely done. They find the Ember Spirit. Chain stun him. Toronto Tokyo doesn't have a remnant. SumaiL just needs to close the gap here with a decrep and a life drain. He's going to try and go for the blast. And that stun from Zayat secures the kill.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Maybe
in
even pressure the mid.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Tower, it does look like,
Dire should look to their middle tower.
but Zero is ready to take this fight. Have all their spells.
He walks straight in, echoes up onto the Viper. Spectral Horn also arriving, focusing onto the IO in the back as no one rolls into the middle of both of them. The Nether Toxin's doing a decent amount, but so bad and collapse. Falling apart. As that reaction, impetus shot, Zayat, oh, he survives through it. Now Epochka trying to go for the TP out, and he stuns. It's the Winter's Curse that they require. Stop her in her tracks. 3 kills and defending that tier 1 tower, and it's something that's become a common storyline here in this series. Against Yellow Submarine, you defend your safe lane tier 1 with everything you've got.
Kind of like you said, it's like that their lanes are standing where to be, on bringing this 3 to 4 here. Towers alive. Yatoro, he has a really good. This armored, I think he
Dire are
to help them because
enemies.
definitely not in the best position. Their lineup is all about this lane stuff and rolling on. Oh, fine, but it's like
They didn't
just
stomp
never got
it.
crowd. Yeah, and now it's like it's gonna be kind of like slow game from here. Vector's gonna.
Radiant's bottom tower is in danger.
Now Yatoro moves well. This is what they.
Has fallen.
Yeah, take the tier 1. The thing is, I've just realized that the Dire team don't really have any stuns. So we've seen a couple of times now, the counter to Yellow Submarine is just to TP out. Solo doesn't have a TP right now, but he's managed to find himself a hole in the trees. But what you've got searing chains and maybe an Ench creep?
It's very little what they have.
No one. He's going for this. A Rolling Thunder connecting a couple of times. The IO heal nowhere near enough, and now a TP out. Look at that. He goes in, gets a kill, and there's nothing to stop it.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways way or helps is trying to fight, but while
Radiant structures are fortified.
he's in the where he has to make a lot of space for pressure these towers, and in general, like team at least so out on this kind of space for his team, or he's been a lot of really nice what he's.
Zayat showing off his blink there to defend his career.
That's the old.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yatoro is farming really well. I'm just one lifestealer.
Dire have fortified their structures
Ember has a
against attack. Dire should look to their top tower.
Oh. Deal with the Pugna, I guess?
Is under attack.
Game like you can here you could also,
Radiant's tower
but it's like a answer to the Winter Wyvern. You go on him, kind of kill him.
their top tower.
But it is while he wants.
And he's role-playing as Storm Spirit while playing Ember.
Tower is under attack.
Going for that Orchid Rush.
Dire's top
Well, top tier 1 for SumaiL, easy as you like. Finishes that off and, of course, heads into the Glimmer Cape as the tier 1 mid is claimed by Yellow Submarine. IO just sticking with the Lifestealer, keeping him safe and sound. As 404 do come into mid, you know, they're ready with Blink Echo, they've got Rolling Thunder. No one with a Maelstrom. So a bit of a deviation away here for no one, as we've seen him buy a lot of these utility healing aura items. I was kind of expecting the same thing from this offlane Pango, just to head into Greaves or something, but having a Maelstrom here, added damage, is super handy when, you know, potentially he's the one that's going to be diving in looking for the IO and the Enchantress first.
It does look like dark out again. Having that kind of farming item all
enemies.
damage item. Like him going for 3 is it's not bad, but it's not the way that they wanna play. They're not gonna fights all the time. Not looking to put hours either. They can just farm up with all their 3. Moment like Yathor is kind of, they don't really have any way. They don't have like Midas or anything.
Like acceleration isn't really there. There's farming with their raw skill sets. When I do come bottom though with a catapult wave, Solo always ready and waiting for this kind of move though. Winter Wyvern very good at just hiding in the trees, playing from fog. Winter's Curse ready to strike, but a good creep placement there from Imposhka, scouting out potential TPs or maneuvers. And Zayats with Solo unable to make the jump onto Lifestealer. There's a good little kind of ping pong play there, you know, dragging this 404 side down to the other side of the map, and now Yellow Submarine can keep their Viper farming top, Ember Spirit safe mid. Bouncing them across the court. SumaiL maybe attempting here to go on Viper. Rod of Atos and then TP away, and this time the role reversal. No stuns to cancel that, so Yellow Submarine get their core out of the dangerous spot he was in. Smoke from 404. They tried to move from bot up to mid. They're going back down to bot, and they see the Enchantress. They jump forward with a couple of stuns and a swashbuckle, and a great amount of damage there. And Zayat's on a killing spree now.
What a probably one. Getting them out of the jungle.
They find the Ember. That Blink Echo. Zayats with that initiation. This is the threat, right, of this Earthshaker, which we just don't see that often anymore. Is the immediate burst damage and the chain stun control that you get. You mentioned against the Lifestealer pretty good before he gets Rage, and against this Ember Spirit, it's no different.
Very good against all throughout the game. Even though you have the Rage, it's always that get jump on. Might be 5 seconds. There's a lot of threat on this, but Zayak in general.
I'm not exactly sure what no one was trying to do there, like maybe looking for a solo kill on Miposhka or something. But he spends Rolling Thunder. Swashbuckles back off to his jungle in that bottom lane. Philosopher's Stone, a real handy pickup there, especially for Winter Wyvern or Earthshaker who want to keep on scaling. Yatora with so bad. They're sprinting forwards. They've got this Observer Ward that scouted them out for a second.
Lifestealer has a really good timing now with Deso and Armored, so right now, Lifestealer feels like god of this game. Tried to use this timing really well.
Yeah, it's just like doing this kind of move without Aegis, fighting into a teamfight lineup. Knowing that Echo Slam's down and making this move onto the Winter Wyvern's pretty good though, as Solo, I mean, maybe he just tries to throw a curse out, he's looking to escape, but the gap is closed off there by the Lifestealer.
Ward is just doing a lot of... They did never phone... See that they had a lot of sentry. Tower, they gotta probably take the outpost as well. Where they can deny the XP. So far they haven't taken it yet.
It looks like they've forgotten about it.
Yeah, let's see. It's pretty big. Take it away from 30 in the game. Now they're pinging.
Yeah. Ember's like, guys, look, outpost time. And they were also scanning and thinking about Roshan, so I think that's why their attention was drawn away from the outpost, was they were considering, hang on, if we lose, you know, we get the Wyvern bottom lane, but the rest of them are not really showing anywhere, they could maybe have gone for that sneaky Roche play. Imagine back to the other game where, you know, DD spawned for that Spectre. In fact, Spectre has a DD bottle. SumaiL's given the bottle to Ramses, so haste and DD as they jump in, immediately blowing up the Eye on the Enchantress. Lifestealer, they're getting chased by the Spectre. And just like that, the immediate jump and kill. Viper trying to get back up onto his high ground, but the Pango and the Spectre giving chase as DD hasted Ramses' Spectre, just relentless in the damage output he's giving, and they've also caught the Ember Spirit. Earthshaker and Pugna trying to keep the catch going, but he's going to make that TP successful back to Fountain.
That was some nice runes for Ramses there. Get a really good fight. Lifestealer dying there, the bad for. Go for the 4. But that's still pretty good. Now, in just this really bad position,
Yes.
after they really have lack ways of starting the fight. They have this Ember who can start a fight, but that's like really like anyway, and it's Ember is not also like you can always like he's gonna go on you, you're gonna see him. This might be the right. This is a good play though. They know there's no Haunt. No, there's no Echo. Portion is best option right.
There is still Winter's Curse and Rolling Thunder though, and it's a little bit spooky as they do catch Solo, silence him up, and that's the Orchid play you were mentioning, but they've got the decrap and the life drain. Solo's still thinking about this Winter's Curse, throws it onto Lifestealer, but the rest of the Concave and the Dire players all on the right hand side as that Rolling Thunder bouncing into the Fissure off the ramp and the relocate out. Make sure the Ember survives, but they still connect in onto the Lifestealer with the decrap and the life drain, and Yotoro's gone. Great pick off there, and the buyback from Solo is going to allow him to keep on chasing forward. The relocate has put the IO in a tough spot, tethering across onto the Ember Spirit, who is invis. They don't see him, but they'll focus the IO instead as the Ember comes out of invis to try and catch SumaiL's Pugna. Now slighting, fisting, jumping with a Remnant, but he's still on the low ground, stuck down there until another Remnant allows him to make the jump, but the Fissures come, and he doesn't have any more Remnants left. The charges are done. He's got an Orchid and a Sleight of Fist in a second, but Toronto Tokyo is being shredded here, and the life drain will secure him. Ramses claims the kill in the end, as two of the big cores of Yellow Submarine are shredded in that attempted Roshan take.
Terror just has so many items now, like Lotus or the Glimmer Cape with Pugna and the Adolens. So, how they're fighting this fight. Like, the Ember has his Orchid, kinda uses it. It's a bit weird, like, okay,
Radiant's top tower is
get
under
it,
attack.
and now they already have answers. It's looking. That Roshan was kind of their way of still like fighting back in the game. Now Spectre has it. It's gonna be. They have to do some miracles. The thing is that Solo buyback, so right off this. But it is.
Yeah, Solo's farming Blink Dagger now with the help of that Philosopher's Stone. And Zayat's closing in on BKB. Really big items, but you know, I definitely have to agree. The way that they're, you know, kind of holding these spells and abilities and items as well. You know, waiting with a Lotus Orb for the Orchid, waiting for that moment where you can decrep and Glimmer Cape someone to get away from the initiation of Ember Spirit. Like, Solo just put Winter's Curse on the Lifestealer and said, job well done. Team, go in. Didn't really care about the rest of them. Even buying a Nullifier on the Lifestealer now to try and deal with some of these items that they've got.
Double damage.
This is the difficulty you face, though, and we talked about it after the draft. Radiant team with this team fight lineup, if they're able to come out of the laning stage with any semblance of farm, just primary items like Blinks and Ether Lenses, things like that, and you have situations where Enchantress kind of forced to play in this bottom lane, shoving out
Damage.
double damage rune Earthshaker takes it from 1/2 to 0 in one hit. Oh, the Radiant Courier gets the high ground, and the miss means Io doesn't find it. Now, so bad. Got to be very careful with this. Ramses' Blade Mail returning that damage onto you. And mid lane, okay, Pango just going to Rolling Thunder, force the Remnant away. Oh, but they're playing onto Spectre again. She doesn't expect all of these heroes to be so nearby so fast. Winter's Curse onto Io, and Solo going to Cold Embrace as no one arrives now with a quick little swashbuckle, but they infest into Sobat. SumaiL with a decrep, jumps forward and life drains the IO, and that crash from the shield of no one secures yet another kill. The lifestealer will TP back home safely, but Collapse might be stuck out here.
Are fortified.
Can't find him. He's found a nice little hole in the trees.
They wanna make a... Yeah, it's hard for yellows to start a fight, and that's the problem. It's always a problem when you kind of have to react to enemy instead of starting the fight, making a move. In most cases, it is reaction.
Yeah, yet again, just trying on the Spectre. And it's also the fact that Yellow Submarine need all of their heroes alive to actually accomplish anything, right?
Yeah.
Like you need the Ember to find the Pugna, you need the Viper to deal damage and break the Spectre, you need the Io to keep the Lifestealer alive. And maybe the argument can be made that Enchantress can be the one to try and start a fight by walking into the middle of the enemy, but it's it's definitely not easy, and that then relies on 404, you know, kind of being out of position to begin with anyway.
There is PK. Maybe with those items, about like just Arrow has a lot of. Probably the best time you'll be fight. I know when he goes.
Initiation very short for a bit. He was like 15-4 and 17 or something as well. Always able to escape with Decrep, Glimmer, Blink. Never really feels under too much threat. Poshka with a base ward there over on the Radiant side of the map. But here comes that move, here comes that smoke.
Yeah, that's... Find that Miposhka.
Yeah, just find the Enchantress. Don't really need to expend too much to kill her, just a couple of short cooldowns. And you still have no one smoked with Solo moving forward, getting some deep wards, trying to cover this dire triangle area. As expected, Radiant want to play down here. Oh, didn't have the Fissure to stop Collapse's TP. And now, Ramsey's just going to shred him. Quick little move in from Solo, make this short work and easy pickings as... Oh, I was a little bit worried there. No one and SumaiL were also looking to try and start a fight mid lane. Rolling Thunder. They're coming in.
Kind of do this. Like, what is there to stop them? Even if... Yeah, the Lotus have a haste on... Okay, actually they have a...
And Aegis does get reclaimed, so Spectre doesn't have the backup life. Ramsey just continues very efficiently farming, dragging wave into neutral camps to keep on going. As another D-Ward battle is brewing here. We've seen Miposhka against Seneko, we've seen Miposhka against Fata, now Miposhka against Solo in these Observer Sentry battles.
They've always on top of his quite often when again having some nice info. Though they're not really
Dire's bottom tower is no more.
Yeah, still keeping a couple of them up there. This one ward here is a surprising one because he had one up on the high ground that got de-warded. So they do still see a little bit into that triangle.
Have an idea at least where they...
Oh, Viper.
Collapse though.
Viper shows. Yeah, they're going on Collapse. Straight in with the Rolling Thunder Fissure and the Horn. Blowing up the Viper, and he's dead for 50 seconds. They're coming in towards top lane. What's happening here? The Horn has moved over to the Io. Io and Lifestealer on the opposite side of the map, and SumaiL godlike now as the Rage TP cancelled out. The Winter's Curse from Solo stops him in his tracks, and in comes the rest of 404. 5 heroes strong, slaying the Lifestealer. 3 kills in a row. And 25-5 with a 14k net worth lead. It's been a one-way street since about 20 minutes in.
Just kind of like hard for you also. Just they're not just
Dire are scanning
like
for
all
enemies. Dire's middle tower is
yells at
under
me.
attack.
Sometimes trying to go.
Dire glyph is
Don't
now
have any way of actually fast kill.
No, I don't feel like I've felt this Ember Spirit's impact too much this game. Orchid, BKB, Toronto Tokyo's had a fair amount of struggles. At least now he's unlikely to die unless he gets blink echoed and chain stunned.
This stands for, I think. But still, like 5-on-5 fights are really. Collapse is close. He has died 2 times.
We'll see when Roche respawns in about 10 seconds. Going to be important here for Yellow Submarine to contest that, because without an Aegis on their lifestealer, like you're saying, I just don't see too many options for them. But you've got to expect 404 to be very well prepared for any kind of sneaky moves they make. 1 minute 20 for Roshan to respawn means they've got plenty of time to set up for anything. But as long as the Raging keeps mid lane and top lane pushed in, like they're drawing the circle around that jungle now, saying if we just go plant ourselves here, make a base camp in the Dire jungle, push out top and mid, we've got Roshan under our control, and then there's only really one move that Yellow Submarine can make, and it's that kind of, you know, wrap around from behind.
They have to do like some kind of. They wanna ever think about how they have to deal. Save heroes.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Oh man, Solo breaks the smoke and kills Miposhka. Great Winter's Curse with a Rolling Thunder. No one's in on top of the Viper. The rest stall 404. They're arriving shortly. They've started up this Winter Wyvern, but it's not enough to kill her off. Now it's 3 heroes in quick succession as SumaiL does fall. Toronto Tokyo does get that grab, but Yatoro and Toronto Tokyo in trouble now. They've got Zayatsk chained up with no one. They pop the BKB and the Lotus Orb, and Lifestealer shredded. Ember Spirit has to run the hell away, and Io, who bought back, immediately falls with Roshan respawning in 10 seconds. It doesn't even matter. GG's called.
Does error. I don't have much to say. I think Yellow Submarine had a good plan with the lanes. In a way, like their draft.